Welcome back to my channel. A few days ago, I released a video about forgotten shows of 1964, and I broke them up into two separate videos. So if you haven't checked out my first video, please make sure to do so because this is the second video of the forgotten shows of 1964. All right, so let's get back to my list. The Kara Williams Show. This show follows the quirky adventures of Kara Bridges, played by Kara Williams, a scattered brained file clerk who navigates the ups and downs of working at the bustling Fenwick Industries, a company that absolutely forbids employee relationships. The series captures the comedic tensions and romantic entanglements that arise from trying to keep her marriage to Frank, the company efficiency expert, a secret from their boss and the rest of the office. The show was canceled after only one season.
The Kara Williams Show is brought to you by Crest. Crest, the toothpaste that's been clinically tested against cavities. The toothpaste for families who want fewer cavities.
Next up, The Baileys of Balboa, a show that follows Sam Bailey, played by Paul Ford, the skipper of the charter boat Island Princess, and his family who help run the boating service. With a picturesque coastal setting as its backdrop, it offers a lighthearted glimpse into the joys and struggles of family life in a seaside community. The Bailey family, who live at the beach resort, regularly get into conflicts with their wealthier neighbors. The show just could not compete in the time slot it was given. It went up against the very popular Peyton Place. And The Baileys of Balboa was canceled after only one season. The Entertainers was a 1 hour variety show hosted by Carol Burnett, Bob Newhart, and Caterina Valente. The show featured comedy sketches, musical numbers, and a rotating lineup of guest stars. Originally airing on Friday nights, the show struggled to find an audience and was moved to Saturday nights by CBS. Despite this change, the show continued to face difficulties and lost both Bob Newhart after 7 episodes and Carol Burnett shortly after due to her commitment to a Broadway performance, leaving only Katerina, and ultimately the show was canceled after just 10 episodes. Kentucky Jones was a show about a widowed veterinarian played by Dennis Weaver who takes on a new and unexpected role as a father. The series centers around how Kentucky's life changes when he adopts a young Chinese boy, Ike, portrayed by Ricky Durr. Kentucky's late wife initially arranged the adoption, and despite the cultural differences and generational gaps, Kentucky and Ike form a touching and genuine bond. Unfortunately, the reviews weren't great and the series was canceled after one season. Next up is an unusual one, 90 Bristol Court. Now, 90 Bristol Court wasn't just a single show, but a unique program block that premiered on NBC in October of 1964. It featured 3 separate sitcoms, all linked by a common setting, an apartment complex in Southern California located at 90 Bristol Court. Each show had distinct characters and storylines, but shared the same apartment building, and they also shared the building handyman. Now, the 3 sitcoms that comprised 90 Bristol Court were Karen, Harris Against the World, and Tom, Dick, and Mary. Karen centered around the adventures of a teenage girl named Karen Scott, played by Debbie Watson. The show depicted Karen as your typical American teenager navigating the ups and downs of high school life, friendships, and family dynamics. And the theme song was performed by the Beach Boys.
Queen, she's a tantalizing teen, and Karen is her name. They call her Karen. At a party, she's a snubber and a rock and rollin' number. Everybody's glad she came. Hey, that's Karen!
Second in the trio is Harris Against the World, which stars Jack Klugman as Alan Harris, a soft-hearted movie studio employee who frequently has to work extra jobs to support his spendthrift wife and their 2 children. And then the third in the lineup was called Tom, Dick, and Mary. Newlyweds Tom and Mary Gentry are unable to afford to live at 90 Bristol Court on their combined salaries. Tom is a medical intern, Mary is a medical secretary at Valley General Hospital. So, to help with expenses, Tom's best friend Dick moves in with them. And Dick's presence often becomes a source of annoyance to the newlyweds as he intrudes on their privacy as he juggles romantic relationships with multiple girls. Now, despite this innovative format, 90 Bristol Court faced several challenges that ultimately led to its short lived run. The reviews were scathing, with one critic calling the show a mess of unpalatable comic fodder, and another claiming that there just wasn't a jolt of originality in any of them. Another major issue was maintaining a consistent audience for 3 very different shows, all with varying tones, varying styles. While Karen captured a modest following, the others did not. And 90 Bristol Court experiment ended in January of 1965, with only Karen continuing on, but it too was canceled just a few months later in April.
Brought to you by Lady Gillette, first start to finish completely feminine shaving care. And by Colgate, the anti-cavity toothpaste confirmed unsurpassed in reducing new cavities. And by Purina Cat Dinners, the saucy new way to feed your cat.
And there's another look at some of the forgotten shows of 1964. If you have a favorite memory of these shows, please leave it in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you'd like to travel down memory lane with me again, please give me a follow. Thanks so much for watching.